UBC and YouTube, welcome to lesson 2, video 2. If you notice, a couple of quick things before we move on. I'm wearing my gamson now. Okay, that's because I took a video of lesson 2 yesterday at the same time I did the other one. I wasn't quite happy with it, so now I'm doing it today and I've got my gamson on. So as you can see, it's a little harder to move on that subject with the gamson. It's a little harder to move. They are quite stiff, they're quite thick and padded. So just be aware of that as well. Another quick thing, touching on the chainmail and wearing armour and that sort of thing. I've already spoken about the weight, but it is quite hot wearing this sort of stuff. So make sure you keep your fluids up too. That will also help reduce fatigue and reduce accidents. So just make sure you keep your fluids up. I generally have a 3 litre water bowl that I go through in about an hour while wearing this. So it is quite hot, and when you do start moving around in it, you're going to be even hotter. So be aware of that one as well. On the last thing I want to touch on about chainmail, the more you keep it oiled, the more easier it is to get on and off. On that subject as well, I mentioned in the last video about going to the toilet in this and how knights didn't actually take it off to go to the toilet. They just went, you know, where they're standing sort of thing. The reason why is it takes half an hour or so to get in and out of this. So they were just being lazy on that account. But secondly, you know, they were doing combat for 8 hours a day or whatever. You didn't have time to run off and go to the toilet, did you? So yeah. Anyway, in the last lesson we learnt techniques with the sword. We're just going to recap. I'm not going to use the post. If you're still not comfortable enough and you feel like you do need to use the post, keep on with the post. So just recapping, you know, we got the rear guard, the falcon guard. Now, I said this one was the boar's tooth. This is actually the half iron door. The boar's tooth is up near the hip, like that. The guard of the woman, obviously, whether it's left or right. And we covered the basic gripping technique. One grip we're going to go through today with you is called the falcon talon. It's an Italian grip, and it revolves around making this finger a little bit more exposed, obviously because it's above the quillins, but it gives you more control over where your blade's going to actually strike. So just be aware there are different ways to hold the sword. So this one here, like I said, it's just grabbing the sword normally, putting this finger over here like that, and wielding away. As you can see, I've got more control. Be aware with the second hand, the more you go down to the pommel as well, it's kind of like giving you that grip there. You're going to control where the blade is on your left, by your left hand. So if you're holding it up here on the actual handle itself, it's a little looser, gives you more. Okay, so as I was saying, I had to replace the batteries in the camera. This will allow you more quick consecutive turnaround time. This gives you more control over it. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to teach you 2 new ways of movement, transversing on an angle, both left and right, and forward and back. And I'm going to show you the gathering step. Now, first off, if you are using the post, be aware when you are transversing left, you want your left foot, if you're going that way, right, to end up where your right foot would normally be on this side of the post. If you're going to go left, like I originally said, you want your right foot to be where your left foot would normally be. Okay? So we're going to go through without swinging the sword, just to give you an idea. Gathering step, kind of like the half pace step. It's to be controlled in your forward movement a little bit more. So it starts off both feet in your stance, right? Both feet pointing forward. And what we're going to do is we're going to come forward, then come forward, come forward, then come forward. And to go rearward, it's the same as the half pace step, where it's moving your first leg that you would move forward, rearward. So very quickly on that note, it's just, again, move forward, move forward, move forward. And this is just inching our way closer to the next enemy we're going to engage. Right? Whereas half pace step is covering a distance pretty quickly. Whereas the half pace and the gathering step is a more controlled movement. Now, for transgressing on angles, this can be used going rearward or forward. Why you'd use this? Well, if your enemy swings at you and you want to sidestep but get to a closer position in order to hit him where he's more vulnerable, say you feint attack, he's going to defend himself, then you'll do that. Sidestep and hit him. And that's just a different way of recovering to your normal position. So all it is, it's like the gathering step and half pace step. You move this foot, then this foot. This foot, then this foot. And you notice when you're going right, your right leg tends to lead. When you're going left, your left foot will tend to lead. And the same thing with going rearward. So they're the two basic steps. I'll let you practice that in your own time. But as you can see, it's just like that. Just a small step, not a great lunge forward. Because remember, these guys had armour on, like I've got armour on, which is 60 kilos. And a lot of it was up top. You're top heavy, you don't want to be off balance because the weight of the arm is going to put you more off balance. Easier to fall over, isn't it? And not to mention if someone walks up and goes, you're going to fall over easier. So remember, nice controlled movement. Okay? And then, like I said in the last video, as you'll notice, as you're getting comfortable and as you're getting more confident and more skilled with doing these transgressing, you will notice that the speed will come along with the power that follows. As you can see, the speed will come once you get used to moving in such a way. Okay, we covered the javelin last time for single hand. We covered the ox, the bear, half iron jaw, and the boar's tooth, which is reverse to what I just actually did. And the tail guard, rear guard, the falcon guard. Make sure when you're practicing, plenty of water in you, and like I said, just practice. Practice makes perfect. So you want to come down, straight into that ward, then strike, straight into that ward. Come back up. As you can see, you want nice, fluid movement. And as you can see, once you get used to the chainmail, it's quite easy to move around very quickly. So just keep practicing. If you're still waiting for your arm to come, I'll bet you're going to be happy when it does come. but practice without it. And then at least I say practice an hour a week. So you stand there and you transgress through your wards and through your steps. At least half an hour without armour and half an hour with armour.